This is going to sound like a bad joke. It actually probably is a bad joke. Well, just a silly joke. But there was a priest, a minister, and a rabbi. They were very good to each other and for each other, very friendly. They're in a small town. They kind of depended on each other, got together socially often, but thought they should get together seriously. So they had a day that was agreed upon just for prayer and getting to know each other on a deep level. And they soon got on a deep level with each other and came to the conclusion we need to be vulnerable. We need to come clean and open our hearts to each other and be healed. So they decided that each in turn would divulge one of their weaknesses, or maybe one of their deepest sins, a dark secret. So the Baptist minister went first, and he said, "I'm ashamed of this, but we're not supposed to drink at all, and I do drink once in a while. In fact, sometimes I drink too much." And then the priest got up, and in his turn, he said, "I've got a gambling problem. I go to Las Vegas and I spend lots of money. I don't spend any of the church money, but I'm sorry for that." And finally, the rabbi spoke up and he said, "Guys, I should have gone first because I'm a terrible gossip." So we have to be careful when it comes to men and women in our lives. We do. We have to be careful about who we trust with our heart, with our vulnerability. We don't bare our soul to everyone. Not everyone is entitled to those deep and dark secrets of our own lives, and certainly the lives of others, you understand. But when it comes to the Lord, there's no problem there. Absolute trust and absolute faith in Him always pays immense dividends. And it's scary, and it's frightening, and it's confusing. Just ask Abraham about that, who truly thought that Isaac, his son, was the fulfillment of this promise that he had so longed for and had waited for. And God seems to be taking that away from him, and he says it's okay. But it's really not okay. You have that feeling in that whole narrative. But in spite of himself, in spite of his own hopes and dreams and feelings, he goes with God's plan, and he absolute trust in that. And as we know, it pays dividends. And then we have a group of people in Matthew who are mentioned almost in passing, who bring a paralytic to Jesus. And before the miracle takes place, it says, when Jesus saw their faith, it's only after he saw their faith that he said to the paralytic, "Courage, child, your sins are forgiven." Somehow they knew. Somehow they believed. Somehow they trusted in God and knew in the depth of their heart that Jesus could and would do something. So we hopefully have that same trust, that same faith, that same belief deep in our heart. And we can be, as we know, absolutely vulnerable in God's presence, absolutely trusting in the one who calls us to life.